Hello and welcome to Guzzoline Garage. In the workshop today then is this 2018 Mercedes C-Class C200 and we're going to change the rear brake pads on it. First thing we need to do is to get in the car and look at the menus, and we need to basically disable the electronic parking brake and rewind the electric calipers. Mercedes have put an inbuilt function to do this, so there's no diagnostic tool needed and you can do it by yourself on your own driveway. So to put the electronic parking brake into maintenance mode on this style of Mercedes C-Class, first of all we need to set the handbrake off, so we need to turn the ignition on like that. Press and hold the foot pedal and push the lever down here on the bottom side of the dash. With the handbrake off, you can turn the ignition back off. And then make sure that we're back on ignition stage 1. So you need to press the ignition again until you get the airbag light, and you shouldn't get the rest of the dash lights. Then we're going to press and hold this back button, and as soon as the dash changes to trip, we're going to press the center selector here. Like so, and then that brings up the secret maintenance menu, if you like, where you can scroll down to brake pad replacement, and now you can press OK. And if you can hear that, the pad's just moved backwards electrically, and that's where we are now. So now I'm going to turn the ignition back off and get out the car. Once you've put the electronic handbrake into maintenance mode, retrieve your locking wheel nut. You'll need a 17mm socket. Then go round and loosen all the wheel bolts, otherwise when you jack it up it'll be really hard to do that. Next is to jack the car up, making use of an extremely special adapter while you do this. So we have got the axle stand now fitted as well, now that the wheel's off. One thing Mercedes have done here is they've gone utterly mental with plastic under trays over all the wishbones and normal stuff that you would put an axle stand under. So that's actually on the rear subframe mount. It's not my ideal location, but it'll do. First thing I'm going to do then is take this little rubber cap off here. That's off this bolt hole at the back, and there's a corresponding one on the bottom end of the caliper down here. That's those two caps taken off, and then you need a 7mm hex bit, an Allen key, whatever you want to call it, in the back of here. And then with them two bolts unscrewed, you need to remove this clip, this spring off the front of the caliper, and there's a couple of different ways of doing that. Just mind your fingers as you do so, because they can be pretty strong. And retain it to reuse when we put the pads back in. So that's your old pad taken out, and you can see where the wear sensor would have fitted, but it looks like the wear sensor is probably on the other side for this caliper. And you can take this pad out of the caliper here. Then, although we've released the electric motor section of the caliper, we just need to wind back that piston there. So I've just changed over the tripod actually, so you can see a little bit better. You'll notice I'm not using the end fitting piece because the action of rewinding the electric motors has already turned the piston fully clockwise and engaged the screw thread fully. So now I'm just using this as a sort of press just to push the caliper back in the final few millimetres there, and that's it, the piston's gone fully home. All that does is it gives us the maximum amount of space here in order to be able to insert the fresh pads. This is our box of new pads. We've gone for some Bosch ones, and in there we'll obviously get 4 pads. There's 2 that are different, so you'll notice this one has got a very slightly different setup on the rear of it, and the groove in particular, this area, compared to this one. And that's because the one in the right here is designed to have the wear sensor fitted into it. However, that is on the driver's side of this right-hand drive car. So we're going to leave that in the box and fit that to the other side. And they also come with these little anti-rattle springs as well. So they come loose and they fit onto the pads like so. So just pay attention to how those fit, and then they will get pushed against the body of the caliper and keep the pad securely in place and stop it from rattling around and causing a noise over speed bumps and what have you. As is quite standard for the channel now, the pad's going to get a good dose of copper grease here, there and everywhere, and that'll just stop it from rattling and squeaking quite so much, and stop it from binding in the caliper body at all. I did have to lever these ones off a little bit, so you don't need to go too overboard. I've maybe put a little bit too much on there, but and that'll just help the piston seat nicely. And that gets slotted into the rear of the caliper carrier bracket like so. And that's that. So I've just greased around the ears of that pad as well, and the 2 faces where these sort of fingers, if you like, on the caliper contact the pad, again to keep it quiet and keep the noise down. And you can see on the old pad the ears are sort of a little bit rusty and corroded, and a bit shiny where they've had like the wear points. So that's where I've applied the copper grease to, and then these 2 sort of strips where the fingers of the caliper would sit. And on the back of the other old pad you can see the piston contact area, and again just around the ears where they locate into the bracket. So we've nipped up the top and bottom bolts. They do need to be torqued to spec, but I just need to find out exactly what value that's going to be. And in the meantime we can refit this caliper clip. There we are. So I'm just going to torque these now, and it is 25 Newton meters. Then we can put our little caps back on. And that's that, that's those pads replaced. What we need to do is do the other side, and then we can take the handbrake off maintenance mode. So I'm just going to put the wheel back on. I'll put a bit of grease on the bolts because they were quite difficult to get out. I had to use the impact gun, and I'll torque the wheel nuts up to 120 Newton meters. So this is obviously the pad with the wear sensor built in. You can sometimes rescue these, but it's not always successful. They're made out of very brittle stuff, and once they see the heat of braking, they normally crumble away. This one has probably been ran a little bit too much with the warning on and gone too low. You really, if you want to save, you know, £10 or so and avoid replacing the wear sensor, you need to do it as soon as the warning light comes on. Luckily, our new pads come with the wear sensor as a new item. So now you can see the small hole that it lives inside here. And so it needs to be threaded in like so. Then we've got another spring to fit on the back here. And we've got the same thing as the other side. The piston is currently fully out, so I'm just going to wind that back in. And because this is a relatively new car at 2018, it goes back with no resistance at all, no problem. And it's open to its full width, which allows us to slot the new pads in nicely. It's exactly the same as the other side, just grease them up. So that's that, same deal, just those couple of little slide pins. The only minor differences was that I undid a small black plastic clip which was retaining some wiring up here on this back edge, just there, and obviously the wear sensor which is nestled in that plug there. But other than that, it was exactly the same as the other side. Remember to refit your spring clip, torque these to 25 Newton meters, and put the little caps back on. And that's that. The last little piece of the puzzle is to disable fitting mode. Unfortunately, I didn't film it because I'm an idiot. All you have to do is press the OK button, which is the black dot, and then that will say warning, exiting fitting mode. You'll hear the noise of the electric motors moving, and then it says fitting position has been exited, confirm with OK. So we press OK, and then that brings us back to that menu, which we can exit with the back button. Well, that wraps it up for this video. Thanks very much for watching, and hopefully now you've got a good understanding of how to change the rear pads on your 2018 plus facelifted W205 Mercedes C-Class. If the video was useful, then please do click subscribe, and if you've got any questions or you want any advice, then just leave a comment and I'll try and get back to you. Thanks very much, and I'll catch you in the next video. Bye bye.